All right, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. Appreciate you all once again for you being here. All right, tonight. And this will also be going out. My bad, I had my camera. I will just also be going out in replay for the beautiful souls that will catch it on the replay. All right. Um, this integration of this new moon in Aries is going to be a powerful culmination of a lot of the work that we've done on our internal healing, I would say, especially on this journey within. It's very, very connected to the hero's journey. The hero's journey is a powerful story that's been culminated, or I would say, redistributed and rehashed and reused so many different times. Every movie we watch, everything we experience, that's why we so big on the underdog winning, somebody coming from the worst adversities and finding themselves and walking into their own power and all that good stuff. So that hero's journey is kind of very indicative of our life. You know what I'm saying? So that power that we have at this moment to walk into this new energy, to walk into maybe some parts of ourselves that we're not fully aware of, maybe some things that we're not fully sure of at this point. All right. That aspect is going to bring us into a new realm of understanding or understanding of our journey or our place in this life. Because to be this to be in this space could be so detached after learning to be so selfish, and a lot of things have forced us into, I would say, a new dynamic of living our lives and seeing ourselves on the individual aspect, free from the traumas of our mothers, the traumas of our fathers, the traumas of even the people that we can be so in love with, the people that can be so close and so near and dear to us. A lot of us have had to learn to accept people for who they are, not who we want them to be, as we've had to learn to do the same thing for ourselves, right? So for a lot of us, this has been a very long journey. It feels like, it's when I be like, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, this is when shit changes. This is why a lot of the breakups, the Aries energy is very reflective of the self. And also the opposite of Aries is Libra. So that's why these themes around relationships and individuality, and a lot of people's thirst for love or search for love is just a search to be free. So that freedom aspect a lot of times doesn't equate to you just doing what you want to do, because we can get caught up in these relationship dynamics and the way we've been taught to romanticize being with somebody, the way we lose ourselves and now we beat ourselves up about how much we sacrifice, which love requires a sacrifice. Now don't get it twisted, right? But we do this from a place of, there's a void. There's always this space to where we need something. In that place of a needing somebody. This is why the disillusionment of a breakup or somebody dying, or even this just don't equate to a physical essence. This can be a job. This can be something that you done got so used to doing, something you so used to having in your life, right? Now, a lot of the things that we've experienced, a lot of the cycles that we've all been through have made us kind of have to walk away, leave some things behind, right? A lot of this wasn't at our own free will. So for a lot of these changes, we've been dragged into a lot of this shit. So the freedom aspect on a relationship dynamic is like, you could be with somebody to the point to where you're not happy, but you don't know how to express that because you think that it's somebody else's job to make you happy. Because if it's in somebody else's power to make you feel bad or make you feel sad or make you feel anything, then that dynamic is something for you to explore. So this is why a lot of times the disillusionment has to be challenged, and showing up authentic and being able to say what you want, being able to express yourself, right? Being able to know that maybe if you want to experience something, it doesn't equate to the fact that there's a lack of something somewhere else. We're out here to experience this life, right? So who are we to determine how somebody else is supposed to be experiencing their life? It's the epitome of when you love something, you let it be free. See, the opposite of Aries being Libra, where there is no love, there is war, right? See, it's your libraries. Y'all don't heard me. The Libra Aries energy. It's what you dwell on. So if you come into a relationship and you're not willing to lose yourself, you can become very tolerant. If you come into a relationship and you give too much of yourself, you can become very codependent. Now, this can be the thin line between the narcissist and the codependent energy. This is why I always say the narcissist has to be the codependent, and the codependent must always know how to be the narcissist too. They're interchangeable roles because it's all about the self. What are you suppressing when you're a codependent? What are you expecting somebody else to be and think and act like you when you're being narcissistic? How are you using your emotions to manipulate somebody else to get what you want when you're being narcissistic? How are you not honoring the fact that somebody has the power to be their own individual and this makes you feel some type of goddamn way? See, a lot of time we don't recognize how we even show up in our own narcissistic traits, I would say, and how we can find ourselves running from the true dynamic of what it means to be you. So this Aries energy, this new moon, we've been watching the celebrities, the celebrities, like they're celebrities, right? Superstars and all that good stuff. These people play out a lot of things on reflection because a lot of people look at these people as a place of measurement, right? So that star power, just let's not get it twisted. You are a star. You have star power too. This is why when you stand next to another star, you feel seen. See? But see, this ain't about needing a crowd. See, that's the Aquarian energy. This is about knowing that you are a whole motherfucking show. This is about knowing that you are the light, the truth, and the motherfucking way. This is about knowing that this life is yours to live. And the more you think that somebody else is supposed to be living it for you, showing up, doing things for you that you know damn well you should be doing for yourself, waiting for other people to honor certain things about you that you know damn well that you should be honoring for yourself. So don't be afraid to be your own individual. In that power of being your individual, you learn how to integrate. Because when you know who you are, you have no problem with recognizing everything ain't about you. See, the sensitivity levels drop, the authenticity turns up. See, that shit turns up a notch because you recognize when something is your show and when something is somebody else's show. See, it opens up the doors to the many possibilities. Every time you meet another human being, you are being a reflection of something that they're aspiring or inspiring to do. Now that your spirit can upset a lot of people's demons. I'm just talking about the fire of Aries now. See, your spirit, it's fire. You understand? See, this is why I don't care how calm your waters can be. Somebody can feel a strong spirit on somebody. I know God ain't nobody in this chat, in this Zoom, or they will watch this in the future. You know damn well a strong that person got a strong spirit on them. Sometimes or the vibes are strong, your energy strong. You get what I'm saying? Like we feel this. Somebody done probably complimented you on your energy when it was high one day. So we talking about a state of being. We talking about a state of being, not a state of fluctuation, right? Not this seesaw. This is the I am. Because whatever you put after that becomes you. So the whole journey back to you is going to be showing you the power of your magnetism, the power of your fire. See, this is why silence can be so golden. Your presence can be so immense to where you ain't got to say a word. Your energy just moves shit around when you show the fuck up. You can stir the pot without even having a spoon. So when you talking about the power of you showing up as you, when people benefit from that, see, now you working with something. That is integration. A lot of things that we're going to experience on the other side of this energy are going to require that you integrate. So a lot of you have just embraced being selfish, and now you got to embrace the journey of being selfless. That selfless aspect is going to challenge you. I'm going to tell you straight up. It's going to challenge your wholeness. A lot of y'all probably already feeling this shit. And a lot of us, I'm going to tell you what I witnessed, and especially with this retrograde energy and shit, you might be returned to the same environment that you thought you was doing your best to get away from. Because if you don't heal the identities of self that are connected to the main people that you got the main traumatic or I would say, suppressed emotions with, that equates to trauma, issues with your mama, your daddy, loved ones, whatever the case may be. There's an opportunity there for you to leave that there so you won't perpetuate that as you move on into your life. You might don't like it. It might not feel good, but I'm telling you, there's an opportunity for you to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself, Aries, to say it with your motherfucking chest, and to let it be known, this ain't who I am. I love y'all, whatever the case may be, but I'm not accepting this. And I'm gonna stand firm on that. Why? Because I deserve that. And this might be an environment to where you're not even part of the codependent person. A lot of these people might be dependent on you. See, this is South Node in Virgo. A lot of these people might be dependent on your services. A lot of these people might be waiting on you to show up and look out for them and check on them. And you like, well, goddamn, when I'm gonna get the reciprocity? You ain't gonna get it until you stand on it. Until you let it be known that you're no longer entertaining the bullshit. See, what you entertain persists. Where your energy goes, you see, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So all that focusing on what you don't like, all that constant telling people what you don't like, I don't like what you do, I don't like what you was talking about, you don't like it for, what you gonna do about it? Because the cosmos is like, hey, the door is open. If you saying you don't like it, then I don't know how you gonna move then. Like, that's your choice. See, a lot of us, our free will has become suppressed. Mars energy, the solar plexus. So that willingness to say, I know who I am, and I know this no longer serves me. I know that I have to move on from this, not only physically, but energetically, spiritually, because what I run from, I'm going to run to. So if I can't face my demons where they were created, if I can't face my own shit where it started, everywhere I go, my demons going to follow me. See, that's the epitome of that saying. My shadows always, your shadow always, you can't evade the shadow, baby. So how you gonna light some shit up right now? This ain't a time to back down. I ain't talking about fighting. I'm talking about intellectual, emotional intelligence. Knowing how to use your words, knowing when to shut the fuck up, knowing there is a time and place for everything, and knowing when somebody deflecting some shit on you that ain't got nothing to do with you, and you don't react from a place of anger, Mars, Aries, you react from a place of awareness, consciousness, Aries. You realize that the only power that these people have to make you feel any type of way is because you love them. Libra. Venus rules Libra. Try. Does anybody, y'all don't heard me say this so many goddamn times. Anybody that you do not love, do they have an effect on you emotionally? Somebody you don't love got to damn near do something physical to you before you get a reaction. They need to fuck with your money, fuck with your children. You feel what I'm saying? Fuck with your well-being, your belongings, fuck with something. Then, see, now you playing. See, all that other shit, I let it slide. But when it come from mama, when it come from sister, when it come from husband, when it come from wife, when it come from boyfriend, girlfriend, children, oh, that shit hurt. Oh my God, they fucking with me. You see the difference? All this is a part of your I am. You might not heavily identify with one part, but that term mama, sister, daughter, brother, lover. See, these are the ones that are, these words create worlds. I am this. Once you put that I am, everything that come with it becomes you. And that's why words create worlds, because now something is dictating your experience based off your perception of it. So we could overanalyze, overcriticize, and not even realize that we're still present for the experience. I don't give a damn how you analyze it, how you criticize it, how you are being analyzed or criticized, how you're being judged, how you're being ridiculed. It still don't change the fact that you a mama. Still don't change the fact that you are a father. Still don't change the fact that you are a son, a daughter. None of those titles gonna change based off somebody's opinions of you and how you're doing in it. Nor will they change based off your opinions of your goddamn self either. So the condemnations of the self, who can beat you up more than you beat yourself up? Who can judge you more? Why do you think it hurts so much? I'm gonna tell y'all as a man. You know why men get fucked with is, damn, why you gotta keep telling me that? Cause when somebody loves you and they telling you some shit, it don't feel like they just, yeah, you see me and it's like you judging me. It's not like criticism. See, this is why children become like they feel like they're being tolerated. So this would ignite anger, tolerance. See, this is where relationships, you can start to feel tolerant on somebody because you don't like some of the shit that they do. And it's not allowing you to see them for who they are. See, this is why one bad thing can fuck up a 20-year relationship. One thing can make somebody say, that's it. And they might equate it to that one thing, but it happened long before the 20 years. Something culminated, something manifested itself. And that made somebody say, I got to focus on myself. All right. So what I'm telling you is based off this energy, when you commit to something, you make a willing act to commit to that. When you do it because you want to versus you feeling obligated to, when it's something that you are willing to be a part of, it doesn't feel like a routine instead of a relationship. It doesn't feel like an obligation. So every day it can feel like I'm choosing to be with you. Every day it can choose to feel like I'm choosing to check on you to make sure you good. See, if you get caught up in the latter, you're not present for the experience and you're not able to love somebody every day like it might be the last. I know that sounds too deep and too heavy. But that's why some people might be good by their goddamn self, right? So when you're walking into this power, all right, and the aspect of where you are, we're gonna tap in tonight. You already know I got this PDF set up for y'all, so I'm about to go into the PDF, all right, so I can get y'all on out of here on this good Friday night, on this good Venus day, okay? So I'm gonna go into share my screen. All right, let me get over here. All right, I muted you, beloved. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, that one it. Boom, here we go. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, cool. Now, here we go. Now, this new moon in Aries, right? And it's a partial solar eclipse and all that good stuff. This is going to be culminated. It's going to start, all right, I would say. That'll be around 3:58 a.m. Pacific time. That's like in California, 6:58 Eastern Standard Time, which would be around 5:58, 5:55 Central Standard Time, all right? So you can witness it if you want to go outside around that time, okay, tonight. All right. So it'll kind of peek itself out there tonight. Of course, it's going to be a little dark. You'll see the moon or the sun kind of start to eclipse it. Now, you're going to want to catch this right before sunrise. So might be a little hard to see with the naked eye, but you can damn sure feel this energy present, all right? So y'all know how I'm gonna do, break it down and tell you about how it's gonna correlate to each sign. But first I'm gonna give you a breakdown of this energy and how this eclipse wants to kind of, I would say, influence us. Now, Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, representing courage, individuality, and self-expression. The solar eclipse amplifies this energy of new beginnings, often leading to fated events and unexpected revelations. The focus on personal empowerment and assertiveness and bold action. From a spiritual perspective, the rebirth of the self. Now, Aries encourages the shedding of old identities and limiting beliefs. This is why the self is a constantly evolving thing. Now, this is why people would say healing is a lifetime thing. At the surface, when people say healing is a lifetime thing, they basically saying that I'ma always be evolving. I'ma always be feeling some shit. Well, you're absolutely right. You most definitely are. When you know who you are, do you have to heal to go through some shit? Or can you move through something so self-aware that you know that a different part of you is gonna have to show up for this? So it might feel like a constant rebirth when you're not willing to do some shit. When you're willing to do it, when you're willing to be it, when you become a walking solution, it's not a challenge for you. You do it because it's natural. All right. This is why Aries rules the first responders, like the firemen, the policemen, the paramedics and shit. Okay. Soldiers at war. So spiritually, this period calls for a renewal of confidence and the embracing of authenticity. Expect powerful downloads of inspiration and clarity around your soul's desires. The shadow work of the soul eclipse, because that shadow work, remember the sun is being eclipsed. So that shadow work is going to be associated with your sun sign. What is in the shadows of you that is not allowing you to walk into the fullest vibration of what your sun sign is? Sagittarius, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries, whatever your sun sign is. What is stopping you from, I would say, embodying and walking in a full expression of your vitality? This is the influence of the Aries solar eclipse on you and your individuality, all right, and your authentic self. So the shadow work of the solar eclipse tend to bring our hidden truths to light. Now, it is an opportunity to confront the unresolved patterns connected to the ego and self-worth and personal willpower. Y'all kind of heard me speak on this, of course, already. But this willpower and our ego, you need your ego. So I love to say, yeah, my ego big as fuck, right? I say my ego now identifies with the sun, the moon, the stars. You feel me? Like I identify with cosmic influences. So it's gonna be very hard. If you can offend the sun, if you can offend the moon, if you can offend me. Okay. Like if you offend nature, you offending me. See, that's how I get offended now. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no more personal attacks. Like you, cause ain't nothing you can say about me that I haven't already owned. There's nothing you can a motherfucker can say about me that I haven't already accepted. Okay. Now, a lot of times people might hear me checking somebody who I wonder who Sensei mad at. There's a difference when you have the emotional fortitude to not be emotionally connected to checking a motherfucker. You can be very, very passionate and I would say enthusiastic about your words, but my nervous system is not moved. I ain't shaking and sweating and my heart ain't beating. I'm just telling you, you got me fucked up. That's it. So you got me fucked up. You can kiss these hands. You know what I'm saying? So to be calm, to be at peace, to be internally not moved. All right, is a totally different thing from you still expressing yourself. So a lot of people equate this to always being dormant, turning. No, this ain't none of that. All right, this play no games, but take no shit either. All right, now that willpower. So through meditation, breath work, honest communication, and journaling can provide some profound insights at this time. Connecting with the divine masculine. Okay. Now, y'all been hearing me saying the masculine principle is going through a rebirth. Aries is associated with the divine masculine archetype. Archetype. Not the man you don't like, and not that these niggas ain't shit energy. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about this nigga thought he don't know how to talk to me. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm not talking about that type of energy, okay? I'm talking about the actual physical manifestation of the aspect of what we know as masculinity when it comes to our logical expressions of shit, when it comes to the way that we deal with lack, the way we deal with scarcity, the way we deal with our insecurities, the way we deal with the courage to express ourselves, the way you deal with being at home in your body, the way you deal with allowing your femininity, which is your power, your creativity to thrive, the ability that you have to get out of your goddamn head and trust in the divine aspects that everything is working in your favor. So whoever is thinking that masculinity is just separated from some type of aspect of men and women, your masculine principles equate to your logic, your ability to be able to use your mind for more than a goddamn knife that keep cutting you. So it requires the presence of feminine energy. So it requires some type of intuitive knowing to marry with the intelligence, so you can realize that you ain't got to have everything figured the fuck out. That's all your mind. Living in our heads is what is being rebirthed. Aries rules the head, self worth, patterns, ego. All right. So the divine masculine archetype representing action, courage, and leadership, balancing the energy, masculine energy aligning with your goals with purpose rather than force. Then the feminine thrives in creativity and power. See, so from a mundane perspective, the global activism, you're going to see this leadership, expect a rise in bold political actions and leadership shifts. So some of the grassroots movements, especially in your neighborhood, things like that, a lot of things going to build momentum in those areas. Protests may gain momentum as individuals assert their values. Innovations and breakthroughs in technology and healthcare could surface. Economic realignment. So you're going to see the economic, the money issues start to resolve themselves kind of in a way. For a lot of y'all, your hard work is about to pay off. This is why for a lot of people, retirement age is here. Saturn is about to return to Aries. Aries children, the ones that are about to turn from 26, 27 to 30. All right. They're in their Saturn returns. All right. So that energy is now for the same older generation that is going through their second Saturn returns. All right. These are your ones from 60, 59 to 62. Even some of them up to 64 could be still feeling some of this energy. All right. So this is why we're seeing the gap or the disdain between the older generation and the young generation. A lot of them are saying, you know what, you didn't teach me shit, grandmama. A lot of them saying, grandmama, you don't even like my mama. I'm just saying, like, mama, you don't even like our grandmama. And a lot of these children are bringing conflict and they bringing out whatever conflicts and whatever war has been there dormant for years in these generations. I'm just telling you why you're seeing a lot of families at war. Because this is saying that the energy has to be expressed in order for us to move past it. See, sadly for us as black people, I would say, even as let's just say us as the lower class people, I would say, you know what I'm saying, us as the people that they put at the bottom, right? We can just say the black, the brown, or like the whatever, the racism, the things that we subjected to, the reality that we live in. We can be so separate from each other when it comes to family. But death and chaos brings us together. Let somebody fuck them. You see, don't the trauma. You see how we could be so, and then and then we get these spells with the holidays. But let somebody fuck with cousin. Let somebody die. You get what I'm saying? Oh, the whole family. We'll put all our bullshit to the side when war, Aries, is at play. So you think war? You think love on the other side of war? I'm just telling y'all how these energies and these polarities play out. Now, when you talking about hidden enemies and all these things that can be associated, because Libra is the house of your open enemies. Your seventh house can tell you about your open enemies in a how I would say you would deal with them or face them in your life. Your 12th house is your hidden enemies. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you. There's a breakdown I have for you in this workshop about the hero's journey and how we kind of go through that. Because you gotta literally in your life, you're gonna have to become the villain. It's unescapable. All right. So we're gonna see a lot of these fire related incidents as well. Space exploration, energy markets. So invest in the energy markets if you are an investor right now, especially in the financial sector. So especially in new technology. All right. All these things are gonna be new things for you to invest your money in if you're in the market. All right. Now, environmental changes, fire related incidents, like wildfires, earthquakes, car wrecks, and shootings could increase due to areas associated with heat and anger. Now, y'all know in the summertime, niggas turn up. Y'all know what it is. It's gonna be a hot summer, y'all. Telling y'all right now, and it's gonna seem like it's gonna be a long summer too. Okay, because we're in a aphelion cycle. Now, anybody that was in my astrology class, they can tell you what a aphelion cycle is versus a perihelion cycle. All right. So this is kind of when the tilt in certain zodiac signs could seem like they last forever, when other times of the year, other zodiac signs seem like they birthdays and all that go by quick. Like Sagittarius is one, but Cancer and Gemini are like two that seem like they last forever because they right in the middle of a different cycle. All right. So some of the real life experiences and relationships or desire for independence may lead to breakups or redefine the relationship boundaries. Also, newfound relationships and marriages will increase. So careers may, many will feel called to start new ventures, negotiate leadership roles, advocate for themselves at work. Um, Health, Aries governs the head and headaches, migraines, sinuses, blood and brain, emotions, feelings of impatience, frustration may arise. Practices like grounding exercises and deep breathing can support emotional balance. So the influence on the next lunar eclipse is when it's gonna kind of culminate. All right. So, or it kind of happened during the lunar eclipse that we just had. Okay. So this is gonna deal with this is gonna because now we're in the solar energy. So those seeds that were planted, and now the seeds that you can plant now. So you birthed some during that last full moon. Right? So now what are you planting during this new moon? Because this is going to deal reflection around refinement. This is kind of during that Virgo lunar eclipse that we had experienced. Now, the Aries initiation into action while Virgo demands the meticulous analysis. All right. So this is the themes of self-assertion and service to others will arise. So this is going to be very heavy on the Virgos too. All right. So Virgos, if you've been running to the rescue of people, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got Virgo heavy energy in your chart, which I got a fucking Taurus stellium in the house of Virgo, and my Saturn is in Virgo, my North Node is in Virgo, I can't escape Virgo, okay? Like it's just there for me, all right? So what I've been having to do, just to be honest with y'all, with the Aries energy, I had to go to the chiropractor. I recently just went to the chiropractor. All right. I had some sciatica issues, which I have a Sagittarius rising. My yoga, none of the stuff felt like it was working. All right. So you deal with the aspect of honoring your body, even as a health practitioner, even as somebody who speaks on health. Like I got to take care of myself too, right? I can't just meditate my way out of every goddamn thing. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't just when you start being overly analytical and when you understand the dynamics of your body, you know exactly what your body needs. So give your body what it needs right now. All right. Don't it's like because that Aries energy could be so high, and then the parasympathetic nerve is speeding up, and we can have a lot of intense ass energy that we're dealing with. Okay. So that intensity is gonna be very, very huge. When it comes to I would say doing less strenuous activities, all right, versus giving yourself time to rest in between. So let's just say you work out every day, you might want to do every other day. If your body been telling you that, and you've been like, I've been pushing myself, like nah, especially with that Pisces North Node, there's gonna be a lot of need for you to chill and listen to your body, especially with the Virgo South Node. All right. So that don't mean that you fall off your regimen, cause we already know if you're in the gym every day, it don't take number 2 days and it'll take you 2 weeks to get back in that motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? So be patient with yourself, but also at the same time, be disciplined with yourself and your willpower to do certain things and also shift whatever routines that you know could be strenuous, could be challenging. Even routines around serving other people that you know damn well, and a part of us might not want to walk away because we know if I don't do it, who will? Like, who is going to take care of these people that are clearly able to take care of themselves? And for some people that we feel like are not able to take care of themselves, we know that they're just not willing to do it. So don't lie to yourself right now, beautiful souls. That's all I'm saying. All right, because Your time, your energy is going to be very much so at play. And the more you don't honor that, who else is going to honor it for you? All right. Like, it's nobody else's job to say no for you. It's nobody else's job, Virgo energy, to ask what's in it for me. It might be a little selfish. It might seem a little new for you. Some people it's normal. All right. So don't hesitate to be a little selfish. All right. Now, when you're dealing with the initiation and the action at the meticulous analysis, making sure that you don't just rush into things. Okay. So be prepared to make adjustments to your initial plans, ensuring alignment with your highest purpose. So a lot of us might be starting something and might really start into it and be like, damn, I need to change it and do it this way. So don't hesitate on switching some things up. All right. So, how to harness this energy, of course, setting the intentions with confidence, writing down bold and specific goals that ignite the passions, visualizing success and taking it one small step towards your goal immediately. Practice courage and embodiment. All right. Embody this shit, okay, before it bodies you. Okay. Now, engage in physical activities like martial arts, dance, or strength training. Connect with the body to release pent up energy and embody courage. Ground through ritual. All right. Perform a fire ceremony using candles to symbolize transformation. Journal about your fears and limiting beliefs about safety. Burn the paper as an act of release. Y'all know I love burning some shit. Okay. Embracing self leadership. Identify areas where you've held back and challenge yourself to take initiative. Now, reflect on your leadership qualities and admire how you can cultivate within them. All right? Because power of your leadership, meaning, how do you know people listen to you? What part of you do you know damn well when it come down to it? People like shit. They know when I speak on this, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. When I do this, that's my thing. Hell, it might be making peanut butter cookies. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What is it that people be like, I don't care, I'm gonna bow down and acquiesce to your skill set, all right, and your leadership, your expertise in this area. Cultivate that, all right? Use that, utilize that. And whatever it is you feel like that you do naturally, that you might not have the courage to just step up and own, well, guess what? You're gonna be called to do more of that as well. A lot of this could be heavily dealing with your Chiron. All right. So I have kind of a breakdown on that as well. We're just kind of dealing with the Chiron aspect, but I want to focus more so on this solar and lunar aspects because that's kind of what we're dealing with. All right. Now, when you deal with the embracing of self leadership, also when you deal with the new moon in Aries, a time for rebirth and the fresh starts, embracing your true identity, all that good shit. This amplifies the energy of the new moon, symbolizing temporary shadowing of the old identities, beliefs, and limitations. It brings sudden revelations and shifts. The rule of Mars, the planet of action and courage, intensifies the drive to take initiative. Expect feelings of urgency and assertiveness. All right. So, this the power of the I am is what we're initiating here. And this is what I'm about to get into next. All right. So, that power of the I am, you know, we hear about this. I remember in the church when I was young, growing up, maybe like I am, it's like it's so many things. I am somebody. Even with what was his name? Martin Luther King. I am somebody. You understand me? So knowing that you are somebody, and the first thing they want to ask you when you growing up, what begins to corrupt your I am is who you want to be when you grow up, what you want to be when you grow up, right? So we begin to acquiesce our I am to I want to be a fireman. It's not a bad thing. I'm just telling you about sometimes we might identify with something so early on in our life, and it's so hard for you to break away from that now, so where you don't even realize how deep that identity crisis goes. So a lot of people are still in an identity crisis right now today. Like literally they are. All right. So whatever identity crisis that you in can lead to imposter syndrome. See? See, this is why Aries governs the self, and that's why I say you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So the self-perception. Spiritually, because that's why the eclipse is gonna ask you to confront your own self. Right? You know, the moon amplifies shit, right? Now you dealing with a dark phase of the moon, it's gonna amplify everything Aries. You feel me? So that's why the amplification of self is gonna be so self-reflective, because the moon is about a deep introspection into the self. All right. So this invites or invitation shed the labels of social conditioning that no longer serve you. Now, this one gonna be challenging for a lot of people. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all. A lot of people, cause how can you break away from something that you don't even realize that you are identifying with? You know, it's like trying to convince an addict that they're an addict. You get what I'm saying? You know, how many of y'all got addicts in your family? I know I had, I got a couple. Still got some right now. Like, do you know how hard it is to stop an addict from like doing shit that the addiction is killing them? Now, for a lot of us, we don't think we addicts because we don't drink, we don't smoke, you don't do crack, whatever the case may be. I ain't no addict. But what are you? Are you addicted to hiding your emotions? Are you addicted to overthinking? Are you addicted to running from challenging situations? Are you addicted to trying to do everything on your own? Are you addicted to escapism? Hey, what are your addictions? See, this ain't always got to be about drugs now. Okay. Because any type of way that you escape, any type of thing that you do that helps you not deal with your current reality, anything that you do that you feel like you have to do. I mean, this shit is just as simple as your cell phone. Think about the cell phone. How many people leave their house? Yeah, I'm people. Okay. I'm people. And you leave the house and you be like, and you done left your phone, man. You finna turn around wherever you at and go get that damn phone. Okay. So we're talking about our addictions. I'm eating an orange, y'all. My bad. I have to get some citrus in me real quick. But when you're talking about addictions and Aries governing the self, and that eclipse wants you to face your own self perception. So when we're dealing with the things that we can shed that no longer serve us, this is a rebirth of the soul's essence, a chance to declare I am without an apology, unapologetically you. So the solar plexus chakra, the manipura, all right, because this governs personal power. Now, this is also where your confidence and your self worth is rooted. Now, the root chakra, the muladhara, this relates to survival and stability. This is the color red and the color yellow. So I don't know how many of y'all been wearing red or yellow. All right. I don't know how many of y'all have been eating red and yellow foods. Okay. So I'm just showing you how you can even equate this to how you might be doing some of this naturally. Because this eclipse is going to trigger a release of that fear-based patterns, allowing you to reclaim your personal strength. Now, if you're experiencing this part, I want you to put a 4 in the chat. Okay. Just put a 4 in the chat to me. For me, if you're experiencing this part. I won't be able to see them now, but I'm feeling y'all foes, okay? And y'all see we on page 4 with that. I just seen that. I asked y'all to put a 4 in the chat, and we're on page 4. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with this hero's journey, the Aries archetype of that of courage, the warrior, all right, embarking on a quest. Expect moments of internal struggle as you unresolve these fears, as the unresolved fears, I would say, resurface, pushing you to conquer your inner doubts. So, on a spiritual level, this eclipse is the threshold of transformation, guiding you to embody the hero in your own story. You ain't, this is your story, baby. Only you can save your motherfucking self. If you ready to save yourself, and you've been saving yourself, put a 1 in the chat. If you've embraced and you totally understand that saving yourself is saving the world, just put a 1 in the chat for me, okay? Now, when you deal with this on a mundane, on a real life influences, on a collective level, the revolutionary moments in Aries often spark social and political uprisings. So expect moments where centered around personal freedom, leadership, reform, and justice. Now, the technological innovation, because Mars rules decisive action. So Mars and Mercury. Now, anybody that took my alchemy course, now anybody that is interested in my alchemy course is still available. All right. So in the alchemy course, I taught on how Mars and Mercury, because you cannot yield a thought without action. Mercury and Mars got a hell of a relationship. Because you can think a lot of shit, but what do you actually act on? Okay. So your relationship with your Mars and your Mercury can show a lot about how you think and how you act and how you act on a thought. All right. So those revolutionary moments, okay, those things about when you coming about your own decisiveness and how you got to make decisions because Mars rules over decisive action. So advancements in technology and defense sectors may emerge. So conflict and resolution. Nations and organizations may face heightened tensions, but breakthroughs in diplomacy are possible. Now, on an individual level, career and purpose. You may feel an urge to pursue new ventures, especially those that align with your authentic purpose. Relationships. Aries energy encourages independence. Old codependent dynamics may fall away, creating space for healthier connections. Okay? So, health and vitality. This could be a boost in physical energy, encouraging you to adopt new fitness routines or release unhealthy habits. Now is the time to do some shit new that you know is going to bring you more of a vital energy. And I'm going to tell y'all, experiment with your food. You already been doing it. You don't have to live up to what everybody else telling you how you need to be eating. You know damn well what you eat that gives you energy and what you eat that takes energy away. Eat the shit that gives you energy. That's it. I don't know if a burger energizes your ass or not. I don't know. I don't know if a pork chop, a lamb chop, I don't know how. But if it gives you the itis, stay away from it. That's all I'm telling you. If you can stay awake after you eat it and you feel energized, like you can go conquer the goddamn world after you eat this food, that's some good shit for you. If that shit makes you feel like you need to go somewhere and go to sleep, and you mad and angry and you don't want to fuck with nobody, leave that shit alone, okay? Now, if that don't make sense, I don't know what else to tell you. All right. So when you're dealing with on this these revolutionary moments and all this on even on the individual level, the foods that you eat, codependency, the health, the vitality. So the boost in physical energy encourages you to adopt new fitness routines and release unhealthy habits. The personal transformation is going to initiating the new you. To harness the transformative power of this eclipse, here goes some key steps right here. Of course, y'all always. It's just gonna be something. This just pertains to this area that I'm speaking on right here. All right. So you can journal prompt or shadow work. All right. Here's some of the stuff that reveals some of your limiting beliefs and hold you back. What aspects of myself do I deny or suppress? What am I afraid to express to the world? Declare your I am statement. All right. So Aries represents the declaration of the self. I am empowering. All right. Affirmation to reprogram your subconscious mind. I am worthy of success and happiness. I am fearless in the pursuit of my dreams. Right. Take inspired action. Don't just do shit. I gotta do it. No, do find something in you that says, you know what, I'm finna feel good doing this shit. This is gonna spark a fire in me. Right. So initiate a project or make a decision that has been lingering in your mind. This eclipse offers momentum for you to break free from stagnation. Now, trust your instincts, and even if fear arises, keep going. Do it afraid, do it not knowing. All right. This is like trusting your gut, trust your instincts. And I don't mean if you feel like somebody around that corner gonna shoot you, and you got all the evidence to prove that people around the corner getting shot. Don't you take your ass around, okay? So honoring yourself, but not being delusional, is the real thing right now. All right. So trust your instincts, even if fears arise. Write down one bold action that would symbolize stepping into your power. Commit to taking that step within the next 30 days. All right. So I'm just giving you a way to utilize this moon cycle. Okay. In 30 days, when I do my next workshop, I want to hear about something that somebody started new. So I'm going to keep track of who's in here tonight. All right. Now, when you're dealing with the chakra alignment, when you're dealing with the solar plexus and to meditate on the citrine tiger's eye to enhance confidence and inner strength, the root chakra, and you can use some red jasper, some hematite. Stay grounded during this transformational period. Breath work, practicing breath work. So when you practice this kapatahati, all right, that's igniting your inner fire and clearing stagnant energy. That's kind of like a fire breathing. It's like filling up the belly. If you just look up that word, go to YouTube and type it in, and you'll get a visualization of what that looks like. All right. So the examples of how this energy, because now when you imagine a gold radiant light, right, at your solar plexus, visualize expanding with each breath, infusing your entire being with courage and self-belief. So examples of how this energy may manifest in your career. You may decide to leave a stagnant job in favor of launching a passion or a project, or starting your own business. A realization about your self-worth may prompt to set healthier boundaries in your relationships. Spiritual growth, you might feel called to deepen your spiritual practice, exploring self-mastery and ancient teachings. All right. Now, physical expression, Aries energy supports physical movement, martial arts, and strength training, or dance can be powerful outlets. Long-term influences and the lunar eclipse. This energy set in motion by the Aries new moon will culminate during the lunar eclipse in Libra. All right, that's going to be in April. Okay, so we're gonna watch a culmination of this energy come April. Okay, so y'all know we already approaching April. So when that full moon comes, you'll watch this energy kind of culminate. Okay, now when you do this lunar eclipse, we're building up into this. So that's why the Aries Libra um axis has been activated with this new moon. Okay. So the relationship partnerships, inner balance will come into focus. The bold self-assertion initiate now later will be reflected in how you relate to other people. Use this time to plant seeds of courage, knowing that they will bloom during the next lunar cycle. So as we reflect on kind of what I just went over, this new moon in Aries and eclipse as an initiation is a call to embrace your sovereign power. Sovereign power. I should have capitalized that. Now it is the death of who you were and the birth of who you are becoming by facing your inner shadows, declaring your truth, taking bold action. You align with universal energies of renewal. Now, affirmation that you can use. I got affirmations all through this PDF too, by the way, because I am you got to affirm some shit here, right? So I release the past. I step fully into my authentic self. I am the creator of my destiny, and I claim my power with courage and grace. All right. So this initiation on a cosmic level, right? By navigating this period with intention, you can harness this transformative energy to break free from limitations and pursue your soul's desires. Now, when following the lunar eclipse, all right, it arises, you will have the opportunity to refine the ground and your new beginning into a tangible form. Now, this time is for bold moves, courageous decision, and unwavering belief in your purpose. So it ain't a time to back the fuck down. It ain't a time to run. It ain't a time to hide. It's a time to get your ass outside. Okay. Now, anybody got any questions about what I just went over? Anybody got any realizations? Anything you want to add to what I just went over? All right, let's go then.
Hey,
Now,
Sensei,
talk to me.
everything you said, what I've been dealing with too, brother, everything with the Aries energy. So it's powerful, man. This is a very powerful, brother, how you doing? Um, I would say that I'm just leaving right there, man. I appreciate it. Go ahead, keep going.
No, no, you good. It's all good. So I feel free to share, brother. I appreciate that because, the only reason I do this shit is for y'all. Hey, so it is for y'all benefit. So I'm honored, especially for a brother to say that. So gratitude, my brother. Now, I'm going to get into these ascendant signs because y'all know if you joined any of my previous workshops, if you taking my astrology course or whatever the case may be, you know the power of the ascendant, the rising sign. All right. This is the initiation of your chart. Okay. For those of you who might not know, your rising sign, which is a part of your big three period, about to be, I know my big three is something on rise and all that. It ain't all in your chart, okay? But it's very indicative to your life's journey. Some of the big three is very powerful in our life. Now, the rising sign, the ascendant, is what sets the order of your chart, okay? It is what sets your house rulers, what is also called in Vedic astrology your house lords, okay? Now, this is gonna, this breakdown I'm giving you. All right. Now, don't get it twisted. This is just telling you about the houses that are going to be impacted based off of your rising sign. Okay. All right. Now, if you have an Aries ascendant, automatically your first house is going to be activated, the self identity and the physical body. So, this is going to deal with the marks of powerful period of self reinnovation, reinvention. So expect breakthroughs in confidence and self-expression and physical appearance. So this is also going to deal with some challenges of the old insecurities may resurface and pushing you to search your authentic self, spiritual growth, embracing leadership and all that good shit. All right. So this is going to be very influential on some of the starting your fitness routines, taking leadership roles and redefining your own personal style, all that good stuff. All right. So this is also going to open you up to new aspects when it comes to those challenges in your routines and how you're going to fit your personal style into this. All right. The Taurus ascendant is going to activate your 12th house. Okay. Because that's going to be where your Aries is. So this is just telling you wherever Aries falls in your chart based off of your ascendant sign. All right. So based off your ascendant sign, Aries is going to show you, all right, where you're falling into, where this falls into your chart. All right. So let me get back to the screen here. So your rising sign can show me where Aries or what it rules inside of your birth chart. All right. So this is what this gonna represent. If you did not know, people might, some of y'all might be like, I don't have no Aries in my chart. All right. Yes, you do. Not only do you have a first house, but based off your ascendant, this can determine where Aries, where this transit is going to be happening in your birth chart. Okay. So if you have a Taurus ascendant, your 12th house is going to be activated. Subconscious, spirituality, and solitude. You're going to be facing your unconscious fears. Now, a lot of y'all might be facing issues around even scarcity or lack, or even issues around you trying to be a leader. All right. It might be some of your own procrastination, some of your own self sabotage, some of your own insecurities that are stopping you from being a leader here. Okay. So that's why the practice of meditation, shadow work, and self reflection is going to be very huge. Most Tauruses do not like seeing their goddamn self. Okay. And be a very stubborn energy, but one of the most psychic energies out there. All right. So but once the Taurus realize that they the problem, most of the time the solution is removing themselves. All right. But in this case, Taurus, that might not work. You're gonna have to stand up, be honest, be authentic about some shit. Okay. Now, Gemini rising, your 11th house is gonna be activated, community goals, friendships, all that good stuff, because it's gonna deal with that Aries energy for you. All right. I mean that Aquarian energy for you in public and letting go of friendships that no longer serve your growth. All right. So this can also, now I'm gonna tell you, this can be also influential on a sun sign as well. So even if you have this sun sign, you might even be experiencing this as a sun sign. You might be experiencing this as some of this as a moon sign in some of these, all right? So don't hesitate if you read these and you go over these and you start to realize, like, damn, I'm going through some of that right now. All right. So these are just some of the experience that you can be experiencing based off the houses that are being activated here. All right. So that's why the real, like, joining social movements is gonna be good for Gemini. Cancer rising, career and reputation and public image, because it's gonna be dealing with your 10th house now. All right. So that's gonna deal with career shifts around leadership, different balance in the home life and work obligations. So aligning your career with your soul purpose, even career changes, promotion, stepping into leadership. Leo ascendant people, Leo rising people, the ninth house, higher learning, travel, philosophy. Expect expansion through education, travel, or spiritual pursuits. All right. Challenges is going to be resistant to unfamiliar beliefs or new perspectives. The spiritual growth, embracing curiosity and stepping out of your comfort zone. All right. So studying new subjects, international travel, or publishing work. So Virgo risings, these people are going to be activated in the eighth house. Okay. So transformations around shared resources, intimacy, deep emotional, and also some financial transformation are going to be likely here for you. So challenges around facing fears or loss or vulnerability. A lot of y'all could have been experiencing that already. Remember, this could be true even for a Virgo sun as well. So the spiritual growth, surrendering the transformation, even cultivating some resilience here for you. Real life examples, financial restructuring, therapy, or even spiritual rebirth. So the Libra rising, that's going to activate your seventh house. Okay. So now Aries will be your opposite from your ascendant. Okay, so that means that you have opposition here. So that's gonna be a heavy one for you with a Libra rising and Aries rising, because that means there's something opposite activated for you. So that's a lot of endings. Now it could be some personal and business relationships, and any type of codependency patterns could emerge for you right here. So developing self-love and setting some healthy boundaries, and also marriage and businesses and partnerships and legal contracts could be affected in your life as well. Now Scorpio. Who was that?
Okay.
Okay.
They,
Now Scorpio risings, all right, is going to deal with more so the sixth house. Okay. So this is going to deal with your health, your daily routines, and all that good stuff. So this is going to deal with a healthy work balance and also taking center stage. Now overworking and neglecting your self care is going to be very huge with this Scorpio rising energy. All right. So creating routines that nourish your body and creating routines that
who was that?
nourish your mind is going to be
You doing
very
what?
huge for this Scorpio rising energy. All
Oh,
right.
the why? What? Because I pulled it back like that? Yeah.
So it's
I'm
going to be
promoting.
very huge that you step off into that energy for yourself. Okay. And be very mindful with the Scorpio rising, too, of dealing with your health right now and matters of the head and the blood. All right. Because you could be definitely want to go through a detox at this time. Okay. Now, especially detoxing of your whole kind of digestive system. That's Virgo energy activated for you. So sexual energy could be on high for a Scorpio rising too. Cause sex could be, these people could be into tantra and things like that. That's why Scorpio, the eyes of a Scorpio rising can be very enticing. All right. Now Sagittarius ascendant. Now this house activated gonna be the fifth house. This is like my rising as well. So the fifth house is gonna be creativity, pleasure, and children. So creative projects, romantic connections can flourish. Challenge it through fear and judgment and may limit self-expression. Spiritual growth is going to be embracing joy and exploring artistic pursuits. So some of the launching of passion, a project, dating, or spending time with children. All right. Now, the Capricorn ascendant also going to deal with the activating of the fourth house, which is going to be the Cancer home. Okay. So the Aries rules over this for you. Now, this is going to impact family matters and relocation, even emotional healing may be prominent. So, navigating family conflicts or any emotional struggles for you as a Capricorn rising. The spiritual growth is going to be healing ancestral patterns, creating stability. All right, because that's very huge with a Capricorn rising, like even moving homes, reconnecting with family, or even starting some type of therapy, doing something that makes you feel good for yourself. It's what a Capricorn rising is want to do, because it could have been a lot of work, a lot of shit that you've been through, a lot of things that have been displacement, especially with the Aries. Some self-initiated things, some things you identify with, some things you say yes to, all that good shit. But now you have to re-nurture, do a lot of things for yourself at this point. So the Aquarius rising, house activated, the third house, communication, learning, siblings as well. So this is going to be enhanced by communication or impacted with enhanced communication and intellectual pursuits. Challenges are going to be feeling overwhelmed. This could be a lot of nervous energy for you with the Aquarius risings. Okay, even Aquarius sun sign people. So the spiritual growth, speaking your truth and share your ideas. So writing, public speaking, and reconnecting with siblings. All right, this could be like your daddy's children and shit like that. You know, you might have siblings that y'all don't have the same parents. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't have both of the same parents. Might have the same daddy, might have the same mama. You know what I'm saying? But something is going to be different though. but it's a beautiful time for you to reconnect with them, or you might come across them in some type of way. Now, now the 12th house is going to be activated. The 12th sign Pisces is going to be activated with the Pisces ascendant with the second house. So your finances, self worth, passions, and also your financial opportunities and shifts to self worth will arise. Now you're going to have to ask yourself, do I possess this or does it possess me? Now this could be you having to do some shit that you know you got to do, but you might not have been wanting to do, but you know damn well it's going to bring you some money. So do it. Okay. So facing those fears of scarcity and attachment to material things, right? You could have been going with the flow, but now you realize you deserve it. You don't need it. Okay. That's a big flip for a Pisces rising. All right. So starting a side hustle, budgeting or investing is gonna be huge for you. Okay. Now, anybody got any questions about those sun signs? I mean those risings. All right. Now I'm gonna get into the sun signs, okay? Now the sun signs is gonna be impacted in the hero's journey of self-discovery and transformation. Now each sign will be impacted differently, which is going to be illuminating both challenges and opportunities on the path to embracing their authentic I am. All right. So now with this, the Aries sun sign is going to be embracing the pioneer within. Okay. Now it's going to be a good time for you to like this is going to be a direct portal to self mastery and leadership. Aries suns are called to let go of fear and lead with courage. New beginnings, personal goals, career changes, assertively stepping into leadership roles. So you may feel a restlessness or an impatience to assert yourself, but avoid some impulsive decisions. Embracing bold actions aligned with your truth. Challenges of fear or failure or rejection. So embracing and declare your I am as a fearless leader and act with confidence. All right. Most Aries people are born leaders. All y'all are born leaders, but some of y'all maybe based off your placement, your Aries, your sun sign might be in the 12th house. You might lead from the back some type of way. You're always going to be forced in some type of leadership role and forced to take the forefront. Can't avoid it. All right. So the Taurus energy, releasing attachments and embracing renewal. All right. So even the challenge is going to be free of instability. So of course y'all gonna have the PDF and y'all can read through it. I don't want to have y'all in here all night reading through all these signs, okay? But this is here for y'all advantage. I will kind of just touch on some of the major points on all the signs though. Now, Gemini sun sign is going to be rewriting your narrative. So, an invitation to redefine your voice and speak your truth. So, it's going to be shifts in communication, teaching, or learning pursuits. This might be called for relationships or projects that no longer serve or resonate. It's going to be feeling scattered or feeling overwhelmed, overthinking. So, embracing that power of I am as a Gemini. Intentional communication, journaling affirmations on embracing the I am. The Cancer Sun sign, reclaiming your personal power, healing ancestral patterns, emotional healing of independence. Even want to deal with the challenges of family dynamics or home environment, expecting realizations about boundaries and emotional well-being. So the challenge, the fear of losing comfort or familiarity, anchoring yourself in self-love. Repeat, I am worthy of creating my own emotional security. The Leo sun signs courage and self-expression. All right, facing criticism or vulnerability, fear of rejection. Stand tall in your authenticity. Affirm I am radiant expression of divine creativity. Virgo sun signs breaking free from perfectionism. This can be a time where you can be dealing with fear of imperfection. The mantra for you is I'm enough exactly as I am. Okay. Now remember, whatever if you got heavy placements on these, you can adopt any of these for you. Okay, this is all for you. So whatever resonates, use it. Okay. Libra sun sign, balancing independence and relationships. Understanding authenticity in relationships stem from self-awareness. That's the opposite of Aries. Okay. So fear of conflict or being alone. I am whole and balanced within myself. Scorpio sun sign, transforming from the ashes. A call to shed limiting beliefs and embrace radical transformation. Financial transformations, fear of vulnerability. You're gonna go and want to declare I am reborn with power and resilience. All right. Sagittarius sun signs expanding beyond limitations. This is going to deal with maybe some mundane, some travel, education, and legal matters may arise. A call to explore new beliefs and philosophies, restlessness and fear of commitment. You want to affirm, I am free to expand and explore my infinite potential. That's why a lot of us could feel that Sagittarius affirmation because it's so linked to Jupiter, lighting your shit up, exploring your full potential. Now, Capricorn sun signs redefining success and authority, breaking free from outdated definitions of success, comfort, confront the imposter syndrome, own your expertise, fear of failure and inadequacy. I know a lot of Capricorns do not want to hear that, confront imposter syndrome. But hey, it's what you got to deal with, okay? Now, I am the creator of my success. That's what you want to declare. Now, Aquarius sun signs revolutionizing your identity. All right, so breaking free from societal norms and stepping into your authentic self-expression. Um, Real life may be called to speak out against some injustices, fear of rejection, or standing alone. Now, this could be your affirmation would be, I am a visionary, unafraid to lead change. All right, that's the visionary, the awakener of the Aquarian. Pisces sun sign surrendering to divine flow. Now, this can be some old addictions, escapism, or tendencies that may resurface. Now, fear of uncertainty. That's always what all Pisces deal with. Now, when you deal with the I am one of the divine flow of life, I am one with the divine flow of life, right? I think with the Pisces North Node, all of us want to embrace that affirmation right now. Okay. We're all one with the divine flow of life. All right. Matter of fact, in honor of Pisces, if you feel and inclined, just type that in the chat. Let's all affirm that. Okay. Let's all affirm that in this moment. You are one with the divine flow of life. Okay. So affirm yourself. All right. Use those affirmations. They're there for your advantage to help you embody your I am. All right. Now we're getting to the moon signs. Okay. Now, since the moon is so, remember, the sun is linked to your father. All right. So the moon is linked to your mother. So you're affirming a lot of parts of your father that he might not have fully know how to identify with. You can look at that and determine that on an interpersonal level for yourself. All right. My father was an Aries. Okay. My mother was a Gemini. All right. So when you're looking at the whole aspect of your relationship to these people that you were birthed through, the people um, that you got this memory from, this body from, the people that came together to create your body. All right. They didn't create your life, they created your body. Okay. Your life is connected to the divine source, the divine flow of life. All they did was put together the substance and the memory and the juices and shit needed to create your body. And your mama knew how to keep it because she's the tomb, all right, for the womb to the tomb. Okay. So, of course, once again, I kind of run through these challenges and some of these themes around these moon signs. So the Aries moon is going to deal with emotional rebirth and empowerment. All right. So the spiritual impact, you are being asked to rediscover your authentic self and expect to confront fears of rejection and judgment as you step into your power. Now, this is going to be initiating passion or even a passionate project or taking charge at work. Impulsivity, and also emotional outbursts is what your challenges could be. Practicing mindfulness and channeling intense energy into constructive actions. It's just like a child, right? When you get a child and they been mad, right, and they finally get themselves together, some of them children will go do some good. They'll go have fun like a motherfucker. How many times you cried out the good ass whipping, probably went to sleep, woke up, and had a lot of energy? So the Taurus moon is going to deal with emotional security and self worth. Now, undergoing a deep reassessment of your values, letting go of emotional attachment that no longer serve your growth. So this can be some financial shifts around your budget, prioritizing self-care, reevaluating career plans and all that good stuff, and also to embrace flexibility and trust the abundance of the universe. All right, sometimes you can be working so hard as that Taurus energy, especially with the Taurus moon, and your comfort could be very huge to your financial and also what you have, your material security could affect your mood a lot as the Taurus moon. All right. Now, Gemini moon, the theme around self-expression and mental renewal. So the spiritual impacts are going to be insights from your subconscious mind with surface journaling and reflective practices will be beneficial. So expect shifts in communication and relationships. Even speaking your truth or difficult conversations could arise. So overthinking and scattered energy is what you want to kind of challenge, what you're going to be challenged with. So focus on one goal at a time to avoid an emotional burnout. All right. So the Cancer Moon, emotional courage, all that good stuff, spiritual impact, old wounds could resurface from the healing. This is an opportunity to break free from emotional patterns. So challenges could be emotional vulnerability. It could be renovating your living space or redefining the family dynamics for you. So practicing radical self-compassion and leaning into supportive relationships could be very huge for the Cancer Moons right now. The Leo moon, the theme around self love and creative empowerment, recognizing and releasing that fear of being unseen and unappreciated, fear of criticism. All right, affirm your self worth through creative outlets. The Virgo moon, all right, healing through purpose and service. All right, spiritual impact, letting go of perfectionism and self criticism, trusting your divine purpose. Real life examples, starting new wellness practices and all that good stuff, changing jobs. All right. This can also bring the challenge of anxiety and self-doubt. Now ground yourself with practical self-care rituals, your everyday routine. That's going to be used for a lot of us with the South Node in Virgo. All right, but heavy on you with the Virgo moon. All right, that might be something that your mother lacked. Now remember, look at your mom and these connections and what you're embracing. All right. Look at the challenges in relationship to your mother. Look at the advice in relationship to your mother. Right. Is that something your mother always told you? Is it something you always wish your mother would tell you? All right. As the Libra moon, relationships in harmony, spiritual impact, relationship dynamics will shift, urging you to reclaim your personal power. So did your mother struggle with her personal power in relationships? Right? Did she struggle with making decisions about partnerships and collaboration and legal matters? Now, that's something that you deal with. See, I'm just giving you the correlation on how to make this relationship and understand that this is deeply embedded. These signs, these influences impact us on a memory level. So if the door is open for you to drop the memory, then you got to know what it's rooted in. So you can't get rid of a weed until you uproot it. And some weeds will be needed. So some of this pain, without it, you would not know you. Without the weeds, without the things that you've had to go through, without the things you experienced in relationship to your mother, to your father, to whoever you feel like has hurt you. All these people have added to the deep identity of the self. Now it's time to reacclimate that. All right. So the Scorpio moon, things around transformation and emotional liberation, embracing death as a rebirth, a cycle of your emotions, let go of resentment and embrace forgiveness. Financial shifts. This is my moon. I hate financial shifts and investments or inheritance related to matters that arise. Resolving past emotional trauma, emotional intensity or fear of loss, practicing shadow work and trust your resilience. Scorpio, Sagittarius moons, expanding emotional horizons. Your beliefs about yourself and the world may evolve. Seeking new knowledge and experience. Travel, education, and legal matters may come into focus. Enrolling in a course or trading abroad. I challenge restlessness and impatience. Stay grounded through mindfulness practices. Capricorn moons, theme around responsibility and legacy, spiritual impact, releasing the pressure of unrealistic expectations, redefine success in your own terms. All right, there's going to be pursuing leadership roles and restructuring finances, because that's what's going to be the shift in your career and your financial matters. Now, this can bring about a fear of failure. So, creating realistic goals to celebrate the small wins. All right, everything ain't about that big payday. All right. So the Aquarius moon, freedom around the collective growth, the spiritual impact is going to recognize the power of your individuality within the collective. Your emotional evolution inspires others. All right. So this impact is going to expect shifts in friendships and social networks, and collaborating with humanitarian projects is going to be a result of that. Some of those challenges are going to be detaching from emotions. So practice vulnerability, which is authenticity and honesty, and connect deeply with other people. Connect from a deep, authentic, honest place. That way shit won't feel so awkward and weird when you connecting with people. All right. Even though just you being real and authentic could create that feeling anyway, but after a deep conversation and a deep connection, or after we experience or express ourselves from that place, all that's left to do is just to say either we cool or we not. And this Aquarius is cool with that. Let me know if we cool or we not. I won't ever come around you motherfuckers again. I promise you that. That's Aquarius. You feel what I'm saying? Now, the Pisces moon, spiritual surrender and divine connection. So the spiritual impact, heightened intuition, and spiritual downloads may occur. Embracing solitude for inner clarity. So the mundane impact is gonna modulate and creative pursuits will thrive. Now, real life examples: starting a spiritual practice or engaging in art therapy. Challenge of escapism and emotional overwhelming. So ground yourself through nature and mindful practices. So of course, some of my final thoughts on this would be just, this eclipse is going to ignite the spirit of self empowerment and encourages emotional bravery. No matter your moon sign, y'all know it when it come down to it. Y'all know I throw all this shit out the window, right? You understand me? Because you are it. All I do with these workshops is to give you a realization of the shit that you feel anyway. So no matter what your moon sign is, it's time for you to release emotional baggage that holds you back. I almost put bag lady right there. I still have to put a verse out of Erica in there. All right. So holding you back from your as you step into your authentic expression. Embracing the courage of Aries, affirm your emotional sovereignty and take inspired action on your path of growth. All right. Now, I went through some of the aspects. Now, anybody got any questions on those moon signs or anything you want to share? I bet. Now, the new moon and these aspects, okay, this kind of, because a lot of aspect in this. I ain't want to go too deep into it, but of course I got to speak on it. Right, you got Mars here, you got Aries here, because Aries rules Mars. You got Mars in Cancer. You got the Aries principle that symbolizes the I am, the divine spark of creation within. So this eclipse, along with your true identity, is shedding old limitations and stepping into your divine will. It is time to break free from false perceptions and reclaim sovereignty over your life. So the mundane and the real life aspects expect breakthroughs in personal identity, career aspirations, and personal projects. Aries energy drives assertiveness, meaning individuals may feel the urge to initiate changes and break free from stagnation. On a global scale, themes of independence, rebellion, and self empowerment will be prevalent. Now with the North Node and the South Node in Virgo, and also that's surrender and compassion and embracing the unknown, to urge humanity to release the need of the rigid structure and control associated with the South Node in Virgo and trust in divine flow. All right, with the North Node in Pisces and all that South Node in Virgo represents order, logic, and desire for perfection. While this energy has served as a foundation for discipline and mastery, all right, clinging to it during this time may lead to anxiety or dissatisfaction. I want y'all to understand that you've been doing a lot of shit and you might feel like you good at it, right? You might feel like, why I gotta change this? Why? Well, it might be time to master something else. You know, Bruce Lee has a saying. He said, he don't fear the man that practiced 10,000 kicks. He fear the man that practiced one kick 10,000 times. And as a Gemini, y'all know I had to flip that. And as somebody who's, I would say, Bruce Lee was very wise and profound. I consider myself wise and profound when I want to be. Now, I say, what is a man that practiced 10,000 kicks 10,000 times? Right? So pick one thing and get good at it. Then when you get that, get something else under your belt. That's why I'm always adding to my readings and my consultations and what I do. Once I get something down, I move on to the next thing. All right. You don't have to try to master everything at once. A master of one thing isn't a master of any. Okay. So when you're looking at the divine flow, when you're able to let go of that balance, that Virgo discernment with Pisces acceptance, So individuals are encouraged to and courage to transcend ego-driven desires and embody unconditional love. All that means is no conditions around you should dictate how the fuck you show up in your power, your individuality, and your authenticity. If something challenges that, it's cool. You just got a little bit more work to do on you. That's not a bad thing. You need those moments to help you understand where you still got a little chink in the armor. That's why we like to say I'm vulnerable here. But when you say ain't nothing weak about me, show me where I'm weak. I'll show you where I got to master. You see? Show me where I'm weak. I'll show you where I got to do my work at. All right? Show me where I'm weak. I'll show you where Catch me next time. It ain't gonna be the same weakness. That's the hero's journey. Every time the hero got into a fight, the villain always showed him his weak point. And the hero always had to go back to the drawing board until he got all his fucking dots in a row. And now he know he ready to face the fucking villain. All right. So individuals are encouraged to transcend ego-driven bases, and also this is a call to release karmic patterns of self-criticism and control. Embracing spiritual practices like meditation, breath work, and energy healing can help align with the North Node nodes themes listen those North Nodes lessons. So this may many may experience career shifts and relationship changes and force them to release expectations and embrace the uncertainty on a social societal level. Institutions and systems may institutions and systems that are overly rigid, they can face a lot of challenges right now. Like you talking about people that's too strict on their employees and shit. You feel me? Like, so this gonna be promoting the call for spiritual and ethical reform. And you watching a lot of this play out with the government. You know what I'm saying? It's like, goddamn, man, he doing too much. He flexing his power a little too much. Somebody want to say something. All right. So a lot of this is being forced out. And that Mercury and Venus retrograde, that reflection and realignment, because Mercury retrograde in Aries will encourage deep introspection around how we assert ourselves, communicate our desires, and express our individuality. Expect unresolved conversations and past issues to surface. You're gonna have to face some shit that you've been running from. And you're gonna have to do it with your motherfucking shits. Okay. Now, this is also with the Venus retrograde in Pisces. This is also what challenge our perspective on self-worth and relationships and material values. So it's a time to reevaluate what truly brings joy and fulfillment on a spiritual impact. So this retrograde acts as a mirror, revealing unconscious patterns, all right, and healing Mercury retro and unconscious patterns that need healing. So Mercury retrograde will prompt inner dialogues, while Venus retrograde will call for deep self-love and emotional clarity. Now remember, Mercury rules the right side of your brain and also the first 13 years of your life. Also, it rules the way you think and the way you listen and the way you speak. Now, Venus, all right? Venus rules your left brain. It also governs your years from 14 till about 21, 23. All right. So if you look at the first 24 years of your life, this is what you're reflecting on. Literally. Those first 24 years of your life, who were you versus who are you now? Do you still have some of these ways? Do you have some of these traumas that you still holding on to? What happened to you in your childhood that you haven't forgiven yourself or accepted or forgiven other people or accepted that has happened? Forgiveness leads to acceptance. Forgiveness is for you, not the other person. So is acceptance. So what are you still condemning? See, this is why this hero's journey is going to be symbolic of that narrative reflecting on personal and spiritual evolution. So the new moon and solar eclipse is going to be the key stage of this journey. We're the key stage in this journey, y'all. So the call to adventure, Aries eclipse, you feel pulled to step into something new, leaving behind old limitations. You may be called to explore a creative adventure, a creative endeavor, I would say. Now, a business venture or a spiritual practice. So refuse to love the call. Now y'all know goddamn well we can refuse the call. Now I done seen this happen. I done over 4,000 readings at this point. The oldest person I've done a reading for is 82 years old. And she was still refusing to accept the call until 82. And she finally was willing to accept the call. So I've literally seen how somebody cannot accept the call until you choose to accept the call. So this is when I tell all the some astrologers be like free will don't exist because of the chart and it's already mapped out. And somebody could be like, well, look at this transit that happened at 82. Do you know how many goddamn transits that lady done been through at 82 years old?
Right.
Do you know how many things? Do you know how many times that lady done said no to some shit? 82 years old that she feel like she didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now she done came to me and met me, and she feeling like this why I've always been called to do this. This why every time I was on the verge of doing this, something pulled me back, and that something was me saying no to something new. She had a North Node in Pisces.
Damn.
She had a North Node in Pisces, y'all. At 82 years old. She knew she was supposed to leave this world with something. Beautiful spirit, right? Now, y'all know she left me very empowered. So she out her doing her thing now, of course, right? She probably about 85 now. You know, that was probably about 3 years ago. All right. But I just had to give that example on how that spiritual evolution of ourselves can be something that never ends. So now we're in a key stage in this in our journey. So that call to adventure, that pull in to step into something new, to leave something that you feel like is limiting you behind. All right. So you may be called to explore an endeavor, business adventure. So refusal to answer the call. That's the Mercury retrograde. That fear of self-doubt, the confusion may arise, the inner dialogue, the mental chatter, right? Could make you question your abilities and your decision. Now, the Venus retrograde could be meeting the mentor. All right. So it might not be me, it might be somebody else you done met. Okay. If you look at your life, you might have done met a mentor at this point. So guidance offers appears in the form of inner wisdom, and it can come in your inner guru. All right. Because I tell people when the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. But when the student is truly ready, the teacher shall disappear. All right. So these spiritual insights show you're invited to develop a greater self-love and compassion. All right. Now, this is gonna be crossing the threshold into this Venus, um, into this energy of this Venus energy. All right. Now, let me see here. Now, this is gonna be crossing that threshold into that Venus energy. Okay. So we're going to be led to making new beginnings, and we're going to be led to walking into this new powerful aspect that we have. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Hold on. I'm going to get back to my screen here. Because when we walking off into this new energy, it's very dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it's a trip. All right. So when you walk into this energy and this power, okay, it's going to be very acceptance of who we are, where we are now in our life. Hold on, the screen tripping on me, y'all. Let me get back to this thing. All right, here we go. All right. So I know a lot of these experiences, man. I know shit. Cause this call with this eclipse energy, that reflecting on your own personal spiritual evolution. So this new moon solar eclipse align with the key stages of this journey. The call to adventure, the feel to pull in the step to something new, like that refusal to step into this energy, the meeting of the mentor. So you're invited to stepping into and developing greater self-love and compassion, crossing the threshold into the North Node in Pisces. Embracing surrender and releasing control will initiate the journey. You must trust the unknown. I, I said in the last workshop, and y'all heard me say this. Anybody that's been on Clubhouse with me, right? Y'all been hearing me say, there's no more choosing. It's down to like you ain't got no choice. People ain't got no choice but to wake the fuck up and walk into your highest power, or you're gonna perish. It's like that. I felt like this when I was at once in my journey, and it was like if I don't walk away from this, I feel like I'm gonna die in it. Like this, how deep these thoughts can be. Like you could be feeling like something could be ready to take you out right now. But it's just your own unwillingness to walk into your power. See, the world needs more of that. The universe is calling for more authentic people, more people who are knowing what they're here to do. Right? I'm just saying what the energy is calling for, the expression of it. That's why people who have things in deep rest, the underlining health issues, all that stuff like that is coming out. People are checking out in their sleep. People are checking out in the hospitals. People are checking out mentally. People are checking out emotionally. So if these people have already checked out this way and wanted to escape, here come the mothership, which is your body. See, a lot of people thought the mothership was gonna pop up in the sky. The mothership is your body. That's the one gonna take your ass home. That's the one gonna release you. Okay. So when you're dealing with this body, okay, the calling for this, so crossing into that threshold is gonna be huge. So these challenges will emerge in testing your commitment to resilience. This is a period of shedding those outdated beliefs and patterns. Though through self-awareness and courageous action, you can embody your true I am and the presence, all right, of you. So this eclipse serves as a portal to your highest expression. Now, I had to bring in some of the do-wide aspects because I wanted to speak on this to bring this to some of y'all awareness so y'all can really get a deeper glimpse off into what you may be experiencing. Now, what are do-wides? Do-wides are further subdivisions of each zodiac sign that speaking. Now, I spoke on this last time, but I love to give a definition for people who be like, I don't know what the hell a do-wide is. Well, you're gonna learn today. Okay. So, do-wides are further subdivisions of each zodiac sign, equaling to 12 parts. So each representing 2.5 degrees. So each 2.5 degrees is a segment ruled by a sign of the zodiac, starting with the sign of the planet that is in. Okay. So it means if it's in Saturn, that first sign will be Capricorn, right? If you got a duad in Venus, the duad of that would be the first sign would be Taurus. All right. That's kind of how they go. Now, they provide extra layers of insight into the psychological and emotional and spiritual influences of a planet. So they help uncover deep motivations, past life influences, and hidden aspects of the self. So for the new moon and solar eclipse of Aries, let's examine how the do-wise influence the main aspect. So this new moon with the solar eclipse, called the solar eclipse in Aries, gonna be at 9 degrees. It's a Sagittarius do-wise. So this is going to deal with an eclipse falling in the Sagittarius do-wide, the energy of bold, expansive energy, and it's a visionary energy. Now, this could bring a lot of time to take risk and explore new philosophies and embrace personal truths, and it amplifies adventurous qualities of Aries, but with much more philosophical and spiritual perspective. So you moving with trust in your higher self, with trust in the guru right here, right? You take an inspired action, but let's just say it's spiritually motivated. This ain't got nothing to do with some shit that you feel like you gotta do. This some shit to where you feel like you're seeking this experience. You must experience it to help complete you, right? So you may feel a calling to expand your horizons, whether travel, study, spiritual practices, questions about your purpose, or how our truth could surface. Now, now the sudden impacts, opportunities in education, publishing, and entrepreneurship, right? So impulsivity may lead to reckless decisions. So without considering long-term consequences. So it's like think before you leap. All right. So an entrepreneur may feel led to launch a bold new business, motivating a desire of sharing knowledge or creating a meaningful challenge, right? Now, you might do that, but you might get led into an oversaturated ass market. You doing that and you thinking that you really finna make a living off of selling fucking candles and soaps, but you ain't got no website. You get what I'm saying? You ain't got no, you get what I'm saying? Like you just wanted to do this shit. You just want to tell everybody I'm selling soaps and candles. It was spiritually motivated, but it wasn't well thought through. So make sure you think something through right now. All right. Because those inspired and awakenings are possible. So it's a powerful period for shadow work as well. So this that Scorpio do that Pisces deepens the call for transformation and emotional healing, hidden truths and subconscious fears could rise to the surface. So this intense spiritual awakening are possible. So this is a powerful period of shadow work, ancestral healing, and releasing karmic baggage. So you may find yourself in situations requiring emotional resilience, things to letting go and surrendering to the unknown or prevalent. So someone may end a toxic relationship realizing it was a reflection of unresolved emotional wounds. This could lead to empowerment and spiritual growth. So with the South Node in Virgo and the 18 degree and the duad was the degree duad is going to be 18. It's in a 26 degree, I think. But the duad equates to the 18th degree when we're dealing with a 2.5 degree difference. But it's also dealing with the certain aspects. So this Cancer duad of Virgo brings themes of nurturing emotion, sensitivity, and inner security. So the spiritual impact is going to be a need to release perfectionism and self-criticism. Practicing self-compassion and embracing emotional vulnerability is key. So the family dynamics and ancestral patterns could come to the forefront. Emotional caregiving responsibilities could feel overwhelming. Taking care of other people instead of taking care of your goddamn self. A person may step away from a rigid career path to focus on family or emotional healing, and that might be something that you've been dreading to do. And let's just say you make that step away and it's directly stepping. It's why it's a do-wide. You're stepping out of something that's a past life experience. It's habitual. You're afraid of going into the unknown. I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. When 9 times out of 10, if you honest and you look at yourself, those people can take care of their goddamn self. You just got to trust that they can. You know? So that escapism, the power to trust yourself is going to be very huge with this energy. Okay? Especially with this dual at play. Now, Mercury retrograde in Aries, the Capricorn dual. So it's going to be serious discipline tone. So it's also with Mercury's mental energy, reflection on responsibilities and ambition and long-term goals is heightened. So the spiritual impact, there's an opportunity to rethink your personal authority and redefine what success means for you. So messages from the ancestors may come through. Delays in communication and decision making could be likely. Misunderstanding could arise, particularly in professional settings. So an executive might experience challenges in decision making, promoting a review of leadership strategies. Right now, on that aspect of a job, this might be saying you are learning that you got the ability to fire a job. But let's just say if you walk away, you lose some type of compensation. You get what I'm saying? Is it really worth the exchange? Or are you having a knee-jerk reaction to authority here? All right. So when you're dealing with this Venus retrograde and that Libra duad, so that Libra duad of Pisces encourages reflection and also harmony and inner balance. So the retrograde here asks for a deep examination of self-worth and rational dynamics, relational dynamics, my bad. So the spiritual impact on our old relationship wounds could resurface for healing. This is a powerful time for practicing self-love and releasing attachments. So on the mundane aspect, expect emotional reevaluations in partnerships. Financial imbalances may also come to light. So a person may choose to step away from a codependent relationship, recognize that the need for more self-improvement. So this could be a chart that you know you got to make, and it could be a hard one. But it can be like, you know damn well if you're in something and it's keeping you stagnant, it's keeping you the same, and you're not growing because of it. And it's the epitome of what I was saying earlier. When you love something, let it be free, right? And that if that means that you're free from me as a crutch from you, or you might have to free somebody and you a crutch for some goddamn body, you know? Because are you really helping them by not allowing them to grow? All right. So the call for adventure in the Aries Sagittarius duad, the desire to break free and explore. Aries, all right, opportunity for self-discovery and a spiritual inspiration emerge. Refusal of the call, right? That's that Mercury duad that we talked about earlier. So that's the meeting the mentor with that Venus energy. See, this is why I had to put that in there earlier, but this is kind of more in depth with that. So crossing that threshold, emotional boundaries. So for the personal and the collective, because the return to integration. So the hero returns with newfound wisdom, integrating lessons and stepping into your authentic self. So here's some ways to embrace that energy for humanity on a collective level. Um, Here's you can do some daily affirmations. Of course, there are some ritual journal prompts and all that good stuff here for you. All right. So the new moon, solar eclipse, and Aries bring forth the cosmic opportunity for radical self reinvention. By understanding the subtle influences of the duals, you can navigate these changes with great awareness. The Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Cancer duals all call for balance, courage, reflection, and emotional resilience. Break free from limiting beliefs, embrace your authentic self, reflect on your relationships, heal past wounds, step into your power. The energy of the eclipse is a catalyst for your own hero's journey, guiding you. Say, I am with strength and clarity. All right. So Embracing the hero's journey decline as your new I am is going to be very big with this. Now, of course, I had to give some medical aspects to it to see how it's affecting your health. So you'll be seeing, because Aries rules the head and the eyes and the skull and the upper jaw, so the nervous system, the blood, the adrenal glands. All right, all this is gonna deal with this energy of Aries. So mental tension can manifest through headaches and eye strain. Energies lead to overexertion or burnout. This could also be dealing with the Pisces influence with the lymphatic system and the immune system. Health emphasizing detoxification. Virgo's influence on the digestive system encourages a focus on gut health as well. Mercury retrograde in Aries manifesting a neutral tension between brain fog and kind of disrupt the communication between the nervous system and the body. All right. It's kind of why I had went and got my back shit adjusted. All right. Now, when you deal with the Mars and Cancer, ruled by the moon, the body associations will be the stomach, the digestive system, and the chest and the breast and the diaphragm. So, the emotional impact, Mars and Cancer, may stir deeply buried emotions, leading to stomach related issues like digestion and acid reflux and ulcers. I got a brother of mine who's a Taurus who literally just got diagnosed with ulcers. All right. So physical symptoms, sensitivity in the digestive tract, fluid retention, muscle tension around the chest, and inflammatory responses. Energetic imbalances, Mars aggressive energy becomes a softener to Cancer, but during the solar eclipse, suppressed anger and frustration may manifest physically. So some of these symptoms could be bloating, indigestion, and acid reflux, emotional eating or loss of appetite, tension in the diaphragm leading to shallow breathing. So making sure you're taking deep breaths down into the stomach cramps, chest tightness from stress. So the chakra is going to be impacted. It'll be like the solar plexus, which we know is the Manipura. This governs the digestive and the confidence and the willpower. Now, the heart chakra, also the anahata, emotionally charged with interactions and the heart centered conflicts may emerge. So, here's some herbs. I just put about three simple herbs together with each of these that you can incorporate if you're feeling any of these emotional pulls. If you're feeling any of this and you're having these issues on a physical level, all right, this concoction right here will help you out. Okay. Or you can just do one of these herbs on a daily basis. Do about 16 to 24 ounces of these herbs on a daily basis and do that for about a good, I would say, let's go 28 days, a moon cycle, or even 60 days. This depends on how severe it is. All right. Like you can literally incorporate some of this into your daily regimen and it will help you out in these areas if you're experiencing any of these physical symptoms. All right. So, of course, affirmation is I release all stored emotions and welcome peace within my body. My digestion is balanced and I nourish my body with love. Now, Venus and Pisces, of course, ruled by Neptune. This is going to be an energy and emotional imbalances could influence hormonal health and cause water retention or skin issues. All right. So, a lot of that water retention, a lot of y'all in the United States, they got us drinking too much water. Just eight. You don't need all that water. So some you need minerals. All right, you need minerals. A lot of times you don't need water. You need minerals. Okay. So how you know if you holding on to too much water? If you can squeeze your skin and squeeze your, let's just say you can press your arm or your legs or a certain part of your body, and it leaves an impression there for a long time. And it's like just like it's almost like you can feel like liquid around your bones and shit. It's a lot of water retention. So a lot of us could be holding on to water weight. All right. So fatigue and hormonal imbalances, all that type of stuff. During the solar eclipse, emotional confusion could affect your physical health, leading to headaches and dizziness and immune weakness. So this is gonna be in fluid imbalance. This is sensory overload, causing migraines and fatigue, hormonal shifts, especially impacting estrogen imbalance, sleep disturbances or vivid dreams. So of course, now feverfew is one I want you to make sure that you are doing research. Feverfew is one you don't want to be too heavy on, but it is very good for headaches. All right. I would suggest you use that in a small dosage when if you mix it with the other herbs that are here. Okay. So if you want to use about 5 grams or 7 grams of peppermint and about 3 grams of lavender and about 2 grams of feverfew. All right, that's kind of a good ratio. that you can use that'll make a good tea. If you want to increase the taste of lavender, you can take the lavender to about 5 grams. All right. Now, other ones are going to deal with circulation and energy. Ginger promotes circulation. Hawthorn berry supports heart health and all that good stuff. Nettle leaf is rich in iron. So if you've been needing iron, nettle leaf is where you can get iron. Okay. You can go off on nettle leaf, especially women. If you're iron deficient, get some nettle leaf in your life. Mix it with some hibiscus. Add some red clover to it. All right. Now you want to detox your liver? Here's a simple concoction. Dandelion, milk thistle, and burdock root will detox your liver in a matter of, I guarantee it, 28 to 45 days. If you drink at least 16 ounces of this concoction, and I would say your mixture would be, now y'all gonna get this on the recording, you can write this down now. All right. The mixture would be, you want to go about 3.5 grams of dandelion root. Depends on how much you're trying to make. If you want to make a nice amount, just do about 7 grams of each of those. All right. And what you want to do is add a base herb if you do a heavy amount. All right. So go ahead and add some peppermint, or some ginger. Would probably be better if you want to deal with the liver. All right. So you want to add about 10 grams of ginger and use about 7 grams of these other herbs. That'll be a nice mixture for you right there. That'll come out to like, what's that, 31 grams? Yeah, that's about 31 grams, right at an ounce, right a little bit over an ounce, all right? So that's a good mixture to help detoxify the liver. And that 31 grams could last you probably about a month, all right? All you're doing is taking about 3 to 4 teaspoons per cup. If you do 8 teaspoons, that's a strong cup. So you can increase the dosage by increasing the amount of herbs per cup. It's just like medicine, all right? So for digestive support, chamomile soothes the gut, calms inflammation. Slippery elm supports digestion and reduces acidity. Acidity. Now, marshmallow root soothes inflammation in the digestive tract. That concoction will soothe the shit out your gut. I guarantee it. It's gonna make you shit a little bit too. You're gonna piss, but it ain't gonna make you shit like a uncontrollable shit. But you're gonna feel a release in your digestive tract. Okay, so that's one you can do like at night. And if you're having a heavy acid reflux, you got a lot of digestive issues, gallbladder issues. All right, it'll definitely help out with that. If you have gallbladder issues, just combine a little dandelion and some burdock root with that. You can even put those two together to detoxify the liver with digestive aspects, and that'll help detoxify your gallbladder. Okay, so you put those 6 herbs together. All right, you can detoxify your gallbladder. And I would use that ratio once again of about 3.5 grams of each of these herbs, especially with the marshmallow root, or about 7 grams of each. You want to do about an equal amount of those. Peppermint and things like that are always good for base herbs, all right, because they can damn near go with anything. So peppermint will be good for this one too, because it's good for the digestive, all right. But peppermint or ginger would be good for this, even hibiscus, okay. So, with the root chakra, the muladhara, grounding herbs like ashwagandha and reishi mushrooms to balance the physical body. Be very mindful of ashwagandha. I would suggest if you're taking ashwagandha, some of y'all might be already taking it 7 days on and about 3 to 5 days off. I would suggest 7 days off. 7 days on, 7 days off, or 3 days on, 2 days off. All right. Try not to take it back to back for a whole month straight or some shit. You could develop an imbalance, and you can also develop a dependency on ashwagandha. Now, some of the foods you want to eat for dietary and nutritional support, focusing on inflammatory foods, leafy greens, kale, spinach. I'm not a big spinach eater, but it is a good source of iron and good stuff like that because, of course, it's a man-made vegetable, but it's plentiful and it does work. All right. So, of course, you got some more foods here you can eat, some breath work. I got some stuff here to help you out with your well being, as always. All right. I kind of wanted to touch on those first things, but here are some things you can do ritualistic and embracing a hero's journey. All right. Stepping into your personal hero's journey. Mars and Cancer may challenge you to confront your emotional fears and limit your growth. Venus and Pisces encourage emotional surrender, acceptance, and forgiveness. Reflections questions to reflect on. Why am I being called to nurture myself and others? How can I express my emotion without fear? What new path am I ready to step into with courage and conviction? Affirmation for the journey. I am strong enough to face my emotions and I welcome new beginnings. My heart and my body are in perfect harmony and I walk my path with courage and clarity. God damn it, standing ovation for yourself. All right. Now, y'all know I got to touch on the hero's journey. Now, anybody got any questions on some of these healing things I went over? I know there was a lot I just shared right there. But remember, you already have this PDF. Y'all should have the PDF. All right. So anybody got any questions over what I just went over? All right. Now, the next part, which will be kind of finishing us out. All right. The hero's journey. Okay. Now, of course, by integrating herbal remedies and conscious, nutritious, and mind body practices, you can support your body's natural healing process. So, this period encourages you to embrace the fiery Aries energy for growth and self awareness and vitality. Add some vitality to your body. You lose vitality, you're losing your life. I'm gonna say that one more time. When no matter what you do, everything you do, it feel like it's draining you, and it feel like it's just hard for you to maintain vitality. Your life force energy is depleting. You can replenish that. If any of y'all been feeling like your life force energy is depleting, it's a time for you to replenish that. The cosmos is saying, here go Aries. Here's an aspect to you to embrace the hero's journey and save your goddamn self. And as you can see, look at the call to adventure, right? Look at the way the hero's journey go here, y'all. Okay, y'all probably never seen this put this way, all right? But the call to adventure, Aries and Mars. The refusal of the call, Taurus and Venus. Selfish. You see that? All right. Now, the refusal to the call, again, Taurus and Venus, lead to some type of mentoring, right? Gemini, Mercury. You come in and you gather some information, something you analyze some shit. Okay, now I get to cross the threshold, right? Now I get to move off into this new aspect of myself and these tests and these allies and enemies. And as I've acclimated this new self into play, now I got to really walk in it with courage and confidence. Now I got to embrace transformation in the abyss of the darkness with Scorpio and Pluto. Now, as I'm in this abyss, transformation is happening. And that's going to lead me to this aspect of this return to myself, this awakening. You see what I'm saying? See, everything, adversity builds character. All right. So the hero's journey is a narrative structure introduced. I would say I just put this in here because, I know people like to read my shit and I'll be talking about a lot of stuff that people don't be talking about. And I like to list references a lot. Cause really the hero's journey come from Kemet, to be honest with you. This is commission. This is what hero, Heru. Hero, Heru. All right, the hero with 1,000 faces, because God, our Sit is the goddess with 10,000 names. The masculine principle has 1,000 faces. All right. It represents the universal path for transportation, transformation, and self-discovery. So individuals undergo face challenges and overcome obstacles that ultimately return, all right, are changed. All the cycles that you've been through, you get back to a return, a solar return, a Saturn return. You feel what I'm saying? And this journey can be mapped onto astrological transits and planetary cycles in your natal chart, providing profound insight into one's spiritual and mundane path. So let's break down your hero's journey into a few stages here. So stage one, the call to adventure. All right, that's Mars. Astrological influence to symbolize the spark of initiation. Mars, ruler, ignites the drive to take action. The theme and opportunity, the challenge arises, urging the individual to step into the unknown. So pursues receiving the quest to slay Medusa. Yeah. See, this is Perseus, right? When he received the quest to go slay Medusa, right? And when you deal with Mala, right, to face the adversity, she answered the call to advocate for the girl's education, right? So where is Mars in your chart? What new beginnings or challenges are asking for your courage? I embrace my courage and step forward into the unknown. Where is Mars in your chart? The refusal for the call, whereas Taurus, whereas Venus in your chart, what's in your second house, okay? So when you're dealing with this, it represents comfort, resistance to change, and attachment to the familiar. The fear of doubt create hesitation. This is like when Buddha initially resisted leaving his place of luxury. All right. So even Rosa Parks, through refusing comfort, she took a stand, knowing the cost of her actions. You know, a lot of people say Rosa Parks wasn't real, but the influence of the story is real. Goddamn it, you hear me? So where's Venus in your chart? What comforts, fears hold you back? What do you need to release? What fears do you need to release so you can trust your soul's calling? Meaning the mentor, Gemini, Mercury, right? Governs knowledge, communication, and guidance. The hero meets the teacher or a guide. Now, Athena guiding Odysseus into his journey at home, right? So this is like that philosophical non-violence. You know what I'm saying? So this is like dealing with Gandhi. You know what I'm talking about? So who are your mentors or your spiritual guides? Where is Mercury in your chart? And how does it shape in your learning path? I welcome guidance and my wisdom into my journey and wisdom into my journey. Crossing the threshold with Cancer, that's the initiation, right? The rebirthing, the wounds, the waters, symbolizing emotional transition from the familiar to the unknown. Emotional courage is needed to leave the safety of the known world. So it's like when Demeter, which is basically equivalent to Isis or goddess of the earth, right? This is crossing into the underworld to receive Persephone. Now, the historical figure Harriet Tubman, she crossed the threshold into the dangerous world of the Underground Railroad. Right? So, when you deal with the emotional patterns, what are holding you back? What emotional patterns are holding you back? How can you nurture yourself during transitions? I honor my emotions and I step forward with courage. Now, the test, the fifth stage, allies and enemies, the Leo energy, the sun, astrological influence. The sun represents personal identity and your willpower. Remember, I influenced on the sun. We first started this, right? Now the hero faces trials and builds resilience. Your whole chart is the trials of your sun sign. Your north node is where your sun sign wants to aspire to go and be, but it might not fully know the path to get there. The hero's journey. All the things you face in the way, all the things you face along the way. So the example of Hercules completing the 12 labors, Jesus, the 12 disciples. You feel me? You understand? You seeing the 12 her, you seeing the thing? You see? It said, ye shall do greater works than me. You know. Jesus said, through me is the way, right? Through all these 12 aspects, my 12 houses. God said, and in my house is many mansions. Hmm? In my house is many goddamn mansions. So, your body being the temple. You see why Christ worship the church. Your body is the church. Your body is the temple. The masculine worship the feminine. Your body you got from your mama. So I'm just saying, who are you saving? What are you saving? If you are not your body, if you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions. You have integrated into this temple, into this body, into this vehicle that houses 12 influences, 10 planetary influences, things that you cannot fathom, things you can't even explain, things we even have no words to even qualify or even quantify the experience of the magic that we are. So, what labors have you done? Where's the sun in your chart? What challenges are shaping your inner strength? I embrace my trials as opportunities for growth. God damn it, I can end it right here. Okay. So the abyss, the transformation, the Scorpio, the Pluto, but we can't go nowhere without transformation, right? Because even the sun must be willing to die. The hero committing the most heroic act. I sacrifice myself to save them all. Why? Because I've lived my fulfilled life. This is my life. See? A lot of y'all gotta ask yourself, do you really want to be the hero? Do you really want to die so everybody else can live? See, this the individuality that comes into play. And that's why the villain, I always tell the hero, I'm gonna beat you every time because you don't know how to let people die. You always trying to save every goddamn body. All the heroes get beat. You in two places at once. Until all the friends come together and fight with the hero instead of waiting on the hero to save them. Let's think about every goddamn movie, y'all. It ain't till everybody that the hero trying to save until they step up and the hero go over there and they all clicked up saying, "We gonna help you this time. We fighting with you." He's like, "I got the greatest thing that no villain ever had. I got support. God damn it, how I'm gonna say you supporting me when everything I do is to save you? How can you support me when I'm the one with the goddamn cape on every goddamn time and you looking at me like, what you gonna do? Nah, what the fuck you gonna do? What we gonna do?" So you see how this shit can be very challenging in a relationship, at a job, in any motherfucking thing. When it feel like you the one that's showing up doing something, gotta die. Some gotta die. Some gotta die, man. Some gotta die. I gotta let it die. And it might not have to be a physical fucking death. So that death, rebirth, and that transformation, that theme around the hero descends into the darkness, faces their greatest fear, and emerges reborn. Any movie that you've seen, the hero went through a dark time and everybody rooted for the final fight. He done fought the villain 2, 3 times in the movie and either get his ass whooped, near death. He done got broke down. Then he come back saying, "I'm ready now. I know how to beat you. I know I know your weakness now." Because now when the hero left the fight and the villain started trying to see, this is why they say the devil will attack you through your family and your loved ones. When you don't respond, he say, "I don't gotta save them, they good." What? Now the villain got no ammunition. Now the villain started telling the hero how all this shit started. It started because your daddy killed my daddy. It started a long time ago when we was children and you didn't let me be your friend. Man, it be some hurt little children running around as the villains. And at the end, the villain and the hero end up making amends. It's why God never killed the devil in the Bible, but that's a whole nother Zoom, okay? All right? You got to understand that evil, life, and death must coexist. So that's why the theme around the hero descending into the darkness, being reborn, like this is what Orpheus, right, descending into the underworld to rescue Eurydice. So this is historical figures, even Frida and Kahlo, right? So this kind of dealing with some Norse mythology and shit, right? Kind of going back into that. So suffering and loss and transform her pain into art. So personal reflection. Look up some of these mythological people if you're not familiar with these stories. It'll trip you out. Mythology can be a huge story that is telling you about the hero's journey to you. So what patterns are ready to be released? Where's Pluto on your chart? Wherever in your life is demanding transformation, and the affirmation will be, "I embrace the darkness within me and I transform it into light." You got to know your darkness to transform it into light. Stage 7, the Aquarian energy, the Uranian energy. Uranus represents innovation, liberation, and collective awakening. The hero returns with newfound wisdom to share with the world. Now I can tell the world how powerful they are, how you all can save yourself. Then the hero starts saying, "I'm finna put my cape up." Fell in love. And then all of a sudden he realized that his journey, his life of saving people will never end. Martin Luther King, his leadership ignited collective change. A lot of people say he ignited us into a burning fucking house. He even said it himself. But has those things not ignited change? That ain't a release paperwork saying he was a plant, he was influenced, he was even threatened to come out and change his message. They were going to deliver all these tapes and stuff to his wife. See, being a leader, walking into these roles of public figures, it comes with a lot of shit. People will Some people, they'll love you, then they'll hate you, then they'll love you again. So there has to be something that you're rooted in because it's who you are, not what you do. That way, whatever comes against you, how can your personal growth inspire others? What role did you play in the collective healing? See, I done healed in public, so a lot of people can heal in private. That's why I don't mind sharing a lot of shit. And that's why I don't mind sharing my wisdom and light with the world. All right. So saving yourself is saving the world. The hero's journey is fundamentally about self transformation. By facing fears, healing wounds, and embracing growth, you raise your vibration and contribute to the collective healing. Yourself liberation inspires others to do the same. Chiron, the wounded healer, represents your inner world and your gift and can also be offered to others to heal. The North Node signifies your soul's mission. Each step you take towards self realization supports humanity's evolution. Malcolm X, through personal evolution, he empowered others to find their voice. Maya Angelou, her journey from trauma to empowerment, uplifted countless souls. Affirmation: as I heal the world. My light serves as a beacon of hope and transformation. So that right there, beautiful souls, is where I will end it. Of course, you have your ritual here that you can follow that'll help you embrace some of this energy into the night, into the day, and all that good stuff. All right. Of course, you got the hold and the cornelian. Of course, there are some journal prompts here for you all the way into week 4, which would be the new moon cycle. All right. So before I end out the PDF, do anybody have any questions or anything? All right. All right, beautiful souls. I appreciate you all for your time and energy. Y'all good?
Sensei,
Yes, sir.
shit is fire, man.
Appreciate
Um,
it, brother.
where's your YouTube channel? I don't even know what the YouTube channel is.
My YouTube,
Yeah.
it is Sensei 9. Hold on, I'll post it real quick in the chat so you all will have it. But it is on normally it's at the end of on the end of those emails, and it's also attached to my card, my 10K card as well. So give me 1 second here. I'll post it in the chat real quick. All right. Boom, there it is right there. So there's the
Sensei, I
link to
have a
YouTube.
quick question.
Talk to me. What's going on, Cosmic?
What's up, y'all? So, you was talking about like the different planets and the ages. What planet governs your 30s?
That's more so like coming into Mars. And also, you're starting to develop a lot of sacral chakra energy. So it's like a Mars energy into a Jupiter energy. All right. So like at 33, that's what Jupiter kind of kicks in. You know what I'm saying? Then at like from like 31, from like 30 to 32, that's like a Mars period. Then from like 33 to about 36, that's like a Jupiter period. So your 30s are like governed by different planetary energies. And then that's when you come into the ending of your 30s is still like a Jupiter Mars energy. Saturn kind of comes into play right before your Uranian return at 42, which all that kind of goes into the development of your crown chakra and your third eye. So your throat chakra stops development around 25, 27, and then the third eye kicks in around 29, all right, 28, right around that second Saturn return, all right, or that first Saturn return.
All right, that makes sense. I was just curious because 30's been interesting, but when you said Mars, it kind of made sense. Um,
Hmm.
I'm going into 35. So you said that's Jupiter, right?
That's why a lot of people either get married early, or they get married in their 30s, or they meet their husband, or even like early on, people get married young. Jupiter's influence, how it's aspecting, could be very, very powerful when it comes to that.
That's interesting too because this year Jupiter goes into Cancer, correct?
Yep, yep.
That's
It's about
also
to.
my Jupiter return. So
So
that's
you go,
interesting.
and how old are you? How you be
I'll
turning this year?
35 in 2 months.
See how I said from 33 to about 36, Jupiter is there.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, man. I just like I said, everything you said was fire, man. I mean, it's crazy because everything that you played out is what I'm dealing with, man. So it's just dope. Um, yeah. No, you gotta leave it right there, King. You got it. Oh,
No, that's
I
what's
want
up.
to get a
Okay.
copy of that last PDF too, man. The spring equinox.
Okay, the
It
spring
seems,
equinox.
yeah.
Okay, I got you. I got your email. I'll send it to you.
Okay, man. But yeah, this shit is fire, man. I got you.
Appreciate it, brother. Anybody else got any questions?
In the hero's journey, what is Capricorn?
That'll be Saturn. So that's kind of like your restrictions. The hero's journey is almost like that's your antagonist. You know, anything that you do that goes against the discipline that you know is required, so you can go throughout the battle, right? The discipline required to go through a skill, to learn something, to stay diligent in something, versus being quick. Like and you see in a cartoon, even an anime or something, and they leave the teacher too quick. They feel like they know everything real quick. That's your Saturn. And then they end up in their own demise while they out there in the goddamn wilderness to realize they don't know shit.
Like the Poppy Fields and the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Damn. So it's
Even
not
get even getting lost in the forest or getting lost in the wilderness can be equivalent to Saturn.
yikes. So it's not even a confrontation so much as it's just getting lost in yourself.
Because now in those situations where you're experiencing new terrain, new places, learning a new environment, you're gonna have to humble yourself and get acclimated to that shit and learn how to navigate it. You can't run into everything feeling like you got the authority to just do what the fuck you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it.
So what you were saying about Bruce Lee, I'm out. Excuse the noise. But what you were saying about Bruce Lee fighting, throwing 100 punches or whatever. What was your quote again? You said something.
Oh, his quote about he didn't fear the man that practiced 10,000 kicks. He feared the man that practiced one kick 10,000 times.
But what did you say?
I said, well, what is a man that practiced 10,000 kicks 10,000 times?
Stronger, I should hope.
And that's a lot of discipline and a lot of time and a lot of willingness to put that work in. So
Mm.
that's when you start to utilize Saturn, by knowing you had a discipline and the power of concentration to do anything.
Isn't 36 a Saturn return?
It's now, well, it's kind of like you're dealing with a Saturn opposition. So Saturn doesn't return; it starts to kind of oppose at a different angle in your life at 36. But Jupiter returns at 36.
So you got expansion at the same time you got a lot. So long as you're disciplined, you get to expand. Is what
That's
you're saying?
Jupiter. And that's why
Yeah.
Jupiter always lights up and it trails the sun. That's why the hero is always birthed through a new perspective.
Okay. I'm gonna marinate on that one. I gotta think through that shit.
It's like in Hey Rue, when he went into the fight with Sid, right? Because I know you're into comedic, right? Sid is Saturn. Hey Rue can represent Jupiter or the sun. All right.
Hmm.
Now, he went into the first battle, he lost his left eye. Went into the next battle, he lost his right eye.
Right.
When he went in the next time, he never killed Sid. He just defeated him and slayed him. And they came together to create the Smatawi, the union of two lands.
Mm.
Now I have discipline over my lower self. I have discipline over what I think I should be afraid of. So now when I go into this fight or I go into battle, I'm more wise. The wisdom of Saturn, the time, the OG. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's why the mother goes through the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Meaning once she no longer has a menstrual cycle, she's now the crone. She's more in tune with the nature and the magical realms because she doesn't have anything governing her.
Would you say that the maiden, mother, and chrome has to do with Hathor?
Oh yes. Het Haru, Hathor, all
Right.
that. Cause now you're dealing with the mother, the maiden, and the matriarch. The different aspects of Mayat
Mm.
are said, right? You bring in Hathor or Mayat. That's why you always see them accompanying Set or Isis.
Mm.
See Hathor or you see Mayat on both of her sides. Because the resilience, without the balance and the harmony, the resilience wouldn't nurture.
Balance 100%. Yes, connection. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? And on another level, Saturn represents the density of your body. So the weighing down of emotion, the dead weight that we can carry around. That's our antagonist. So the lack of vitality, wherever inertia lives, no emotion is present. So the lack of an emotional movement is where a stagnation and emotional frustration sets in. That's what depression will soon set in. Calcification, all that type of shit.
So would you say right now, based on your assessment of cancer, like you were saying that like cancer has a lot of family battles and familial problems or shifts in the household. And that's what we're known like we're known for the houses. I mean, to be in the house and to be having a strong connection to the family and the mother. Um, would you say currently like it's some type of depression that cancers are going through or like some type of challenge there with that setting in principle of being weighed down?
Yeah, because now you're dealing with something that's been suppressed not only through you, but probably through your father and your mother. That's the memory. Cancer is the mitochondria, is the memory, is the matrix, right? It is where the emotional weight, the density of the wound, right? So the empathy, caring too much, that can lead to a lot of dense energy. That's why the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. The opposite of Cancer is Capricorn, right? So that whole thing brings an opposition to say, am I feeling too much? Am I over nurturing, overextending myself? Do I care too much? And that's why Capricorn will bring some type of authority that you have to gain over the emotions because your feelings ain't facts. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to require that something at home changes.
So what do you advise if the home is compromised?
I would say that's where you look at your Saturn and also look at where your Cancer sun sign, what house is in. All right. And look at your Chiron and your North Node. Because now you can see where you're being compromised with your healing and what it is you need to focus more on within your self-development when it comes to your Chiron. And what is that leading you to with your soul life mission and purpose with your North Node?
That's a lot of what you said. House, you said North Node, you said Chiron, you said a whole lot of shit. All
Yeah.
right, I'll look into it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Anybody else got any question? Okay, beautiful souls. I appreciate you all for being here once again. Um, if you do have any questions or if you want to book a consultation or whatever the case may be, please make sure you hit me up and book that. And also, don't forget if anybody does want to indulge or get any replays, let me know. All right, and I'll get that to you as well. And if anybody does have any donations or anything you want to give, my cash app is in the chat. And I appreciate you all once again for your time and energy. And may you all embrace this new moon, the new you, and have the courage and the confidence and the clarity to move forward. I hope you all got something from this workshop. I appreciate you all. Love you all to life. Highest of vibrations to you all. Namaste.